tell you before I read this email from Eric in Seattle that some of you will be offended by the content. Not indecent, so get your finger off the dump button there, you moron. But I just want to let you know that content may be offensive to certain people. And it's Eric's opinion, and I'm going to read it to you right now. But if you're easily offended, I would say change stations or turn the radio off. All right? All right, do we have everybody out of the room? Good. Eric writes, Dear Tom, I am Jewish. So naturally, I have come into contact with many Jewish women over the years. When the term money whore was coined, those who invented that expression were thinking of Jewish women. One rather unattractive and extremely flat-chested, loudmouth Jewish woman was lecturing me as to why Jewish women preferred to go out with and marry only doctors and lawyers. She declared that Jewish women were concerned for their children, that they wanted a man who could properly provide for them. Without missing a beat, I informed her that I only dated women with large chests, so I could ensure that any child I had would have enough milk to drink. You should have seen her face, he says. He goes on to say, keep up the good work. Wish I had you as a resource the first 5 years of my dating career. Eric in Seattle. Now, we have heard this stereotype of Jewish women many, many times. The Jewish women want to marry a professional, want to marry a guy with money. The Jewish women are raised to do this. We've heard this for a long time. Now, I happen to believe this is not limited to Jewish women. I happen to believe that there are many women who feel this way. They want to marry a professional. You see it in the personal ads. You see it on the dating websites. For those of you who are single and you date, I'm dating. I'm in a dating phase. I'm single. First, talk about the word single before. The word single has that air of desperation, as if the only natural state is to be married. So you are single, looking to get married. I prefer the term unmarried. I am unmarried, not single. You won't see me on a singles cruise. You won't see me at a singles bar. Free is a good word too, Gary. Free. That's right. Free, untethered, unmarried, but single just has the stink of death. It has that air of desperation, that air of combing through chat rooms late at night looking for anybody's profile. Single. I'm single. My girlfriend and I went on a singles cruise because we're single. And we were trying to meet other single people. Desperate. But I'm always amazed at women who want to marry a professional. Because you know why? What do these women ever bring to the table? Professional men study for years to become doctors, lawyers, architects, accountants, whatever. They study hard, take every exam, have to get great grades, have to build up their practices. What do these women bring to the table? Women who want to date a professional, want to marry a professional. The women who put that in their personal ads, looking to marry a professional, looking to date only professional. Professional men only need apply. It always occurs to me that the vast majority of these women bring nothing to the table other than a willingness to have sex with said professional. Don't get it. So I'm wondering, are you one of these women who only wants to date a professional? I would like to talk to women right now who only want to date professionals. And I'd like you to explain it to me.
Tom. 1-800-5800-TOM. Tom.
I rarely listen to you. My husband is a huge fan. Every time we get in the car, it changes to your station, and we have to listen to Tom.
Oh, I hate that.
It's the Tom Leykis Show.
Tom Leykis Show. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. And on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hi, Tom.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello, hi, hello.
Yes, what do you want? Okay, you told us to call in if we only dated professional men, right?
Right.
So that's why I'm calling. So what do you want to know?
What do you bring to the table?
Good. And they love my charming personality.
Mm-hmm. I see. And is that really worth a guy? By the way, you're over 30, so...
1 year, okay.
Hey,
31.
you passed the expiration
date. It doesn't matter. I am so hot. I'm gorgeous.
Well, you can't be a 10 at 31. We all know that.
No one ever said I was... Well, I wasn't... I may not be a 10 now, but I was a 10 when I wasn't 31, okay?
Yeah, but see, you waited so long to cash in your chips, sweetheart.
What do you mean cash in the chips? What chips are you talking about?
I mean, the older you get, the harder it's going to be to cash in and hook one of those professionals.
You know what? I have no problem right now, so I'm not worried about it.
Really?
Really.
You sound a little sensitive there.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying, the reason I date professional men is because I can. I mean, what's the big deal? It pleases me. I like it. They like it.
One might say you're rather materialistic. That's your main concern.
So, is there anything wrong with one? What's wrong with wanting to?
Why don't you just earn your? Why don't you earn your own?
I do, but why not want the same thing? Why not?
I see. What do you do?
What do? I don't do anything. I don't have to do anything. I'm taken care of.
Oh, so in other words, you don't do anything for a living. You don't have your own money. Somebody has to spend it on you.
My own money, okay.
After he gives it to you.
My name's on the bank.
Yeah, but he puts the money in. You don't.
I don't have to.
But
it's great.
Again, that's my point.
So what's wrong with that? There is nothing wrong with that, though.
Nothing. Well, again.
When you're this hot, you don't have to worry about.
So what's the difference between you and a hooker?
Well, because I live with them.
Yeah, and so in other words, instead of buying you off the newsstand, he subscribes.
Exactly. There's nothing wrong with it, okay?
You sure?
I'm positive. You know what? There's a lot of girls out there that are beautiful, that men give them money, take care of them. There's nothing wrong with it.
Really?
Really. I mean, I have so many friends that have, what some people call them sugar daddies, whatever, Doesn't matter. When you're hot, you don't have to worry about stupid things like a job.
The stupid things.
Yeah.
Stupid things like job, career.
Yeah.
Accomplishments.
Exactly.
Your accomplishments have zeros at the end of them.
Well, hey, I do charity work, okay?
Charity work?
Yes, okay.
You mean you have sex with poor guys once in a while?
It's mercy. It's mercy sex, okay?
Mercy sex,
No,
yeah.
I don't do that. I go to the homeless mission and the thrift store. I take my used clothes down to the thrift store and when I clean out my closet for spring.
I see.
Winter.
So all the clothes he bought you give them to charity. That's very charitable of you.
Exactly. Or I'll sell them down at the consignment shop. So I can buy more. Go put it in my little secret bank account.
Yes. Exactly.
Yes.
Well, Ann, thank you so much for updating us on
I love you, Tom.
Oh, Ann, we love you too.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. All right. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. It's Henrietta on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom. This is Henrietta.
I know, I just said
Hopefully that girl wasn't Jewish, or else she totally blew my point.
Really?
My point
I don't think that's all you know that.
Okay, well, my point was that Jewish girls are looking for, hardworking professional guys because they are raised to be hardworking and professional. So they want somebody like them. Or
I don't agree at all. I think most of these women you say are hardworking and professional are waiting to stop being hardworking and stop being professional anything so they can sit home and have the hardworking professional bring the money home.
Every Jewish girl I know in my circle, they're all married and they're all working.
Have they had kids yet?
Yes.
And they're working?
And they're working, and they're bringing home more money than their husbands, some of them.
Oh, boy. Then obviously some of these women are homely.
Nope, not at all. They're
Come on.
working.
Hot chicks don't make more than their husbands.
Well, I don't know. I mean, your definition of hot is L.A. hot, and they may not be L.A. hot.
All right, there we go. Well, you see, you live in L.A. as I do, okay? So if they're not L.A. hot, you know what? That's the standard here in L.A.
Actually, I don't live in L.A., and they don't live in L.A.
All right, well, you're calling from Compton. Do you live in Compton?
I don't live in Compton.
Not a nice Jewish girl like you.
Exactly.
What part of town are we talking about?
Well, I live in the Bay Area. I'm just here for work today.
Ah, you're just visiting.
Working.
You're working here.
Yes.
I see.
Married, working, have a kid.
And who takes care of your child?
While I'm working?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I have a really great setup where I can bring him to work with me because I'm a professional, so I can make my own rules and my own hours and everything at work.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Lucky, right?
I'll bet your husband can't do that.
Yes, he can. Actually, he works for himself. He works from home. He's building his own business. I'm helping him, financially and morally.
So later on you can claim half of it when he goes.
He's not going to go because we're very happy and we take really good care of each other.
You're very happy right now.
And plus, I have the kind of profession that you don't just leave when things change in your life. It's something that you stay with until you retire.
What is that?
Medicine.
Oh. I knew it wasn't radio.
No. Radio, you just stay there until they retire you, and then hopefully you're rich enough where you don't...
You stay here until the federal government takes you off the air. That's how it works.
Yep, well, poor Howard Stern, but I'm sure he has enough money to live on, and I'm sure you will too with your 7-figure income.
Yeah, well, that's true. I won't be living at the homeless mission.
So thanks for having me on, Tom. I appreciate it, and have a good night.
All right, you too. Doing it as the professional I am. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. It's Rita on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi.
How are you?
Do you care?
Not much.
I didn't think so.
So, my question to you is, do you have an objection to women wanting to date professionals, and what's wrong with that?
Well, my objection is when they say they will only date professionals, because what that means is...
What's wrong with that?
Because that's all you care about is money.
Not necessarily.
Of course.
When somebody is a professional, when somebody has had good education, it tells you something. Most probably, it tells you something about how mature he is.
That's not the kind of... There are plenty of mature people. There are plenty of mature people who are not doctors and lawyers, believe me.
No, and doctors and lawyers are not the only professionals in the world.
Architects and accountants. Come on. Who do we call professionals?
There are lots of people who make a lot of money. So they don't necessarily have to be doctors.
I see. So let me ask you a question. Let's say you ran into a guy like, I don't know, Justin Timberlake. Do you think he's a professional?
I don't care. I don't want to date him.
I'm asking you, do you think he's a professional?
I think so, yeah.
You do?
Would you?
So you're saying anybody who makes a lot of money is a professional?
No, I don't.
How do you define a professional?
It's totally fine if certain women want to date only professionals.
I'm asking you how you define a professional. Am I a professional? Am I a professional?
Yes, you are a professional.
I see. I see.
You are in a profession. And you make...
Well, so is the ice cream man.
Incidental.
The guy who cleans out your toilet from Roto-Root is a professional by that definition. Would you date a guy who cleans out toilets?
Anyways,
would you date a man who cleans toilets? Would you date a man who puts the Roto-Rooter in your toilet?
Why not?
I'm asking you because you said that...
If I fall in love with him, and if I think he's a mature...
Well, then you're not somebody who only wants to date professionals.
And if we share common interests and values, why not?
Well, again, but that's not the way that somebody who only dates professionals thinks.
No, but what's so wrong with that? And what's so wrong with...
I didn't say anything's wrong with it. Again, dear, you're all over the road here. You said earlier in this conversation you only want to date professionals.
No, I'm saying... I started by saying, what's your objection to women who want to do that?
It's because all they care about is money.
Okay, so, all right. So, what's the problem with a woman wanting to marry somebody who's financially stable?
Again, you would date the Roto-Rooter man.
Come on.
You just said so.
Yeah, I don't mind. As I said, if I fall in love with somebody who, incidentally, is not a doctor or a lawyer, I don't mind.
All right. So then you would not exclusively date professionals.
I would not, but that was not the point.
But that's because you are not all about money. Women who say they will only date professionals care about money.
I don't think that's right. I think there's a lot more than money. It's your upbringing, it's your education.
Well,
it's how much
let's take your average elementary school teacher, for example. Your average elementary school teacher is well-educated and very lowly paid. Right?
Sure.
Do you think these women would date an elementary school teacher who makes $35,000 a year? Doubt it.
There are lots
Doubt it.
of teachers
Doubt it.
who make millions.
Yeah. I'm telling you right now. Elementary school teachers, well-educated, poorly paid. Most of these women would not consider that to be a professional as they define it.
Well, you just generalize.
These are women who only care about money.
I don't think so.
I know you don't, and we're not going to agree, but thank you. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Shannon on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi.
I love you.
Thank you.
Well, I know that you only want to speak to women who date professionals exclusively. I'm not one of these women.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a question, and I want to preface this by saying I usually agree with everything you say, and I don't disagree with this topic, but I'm kind of wondering where you're coming from, because you frequently boast about the fact that with your money, you are able to date LA 10s.
Right.
Yet, at the same time, you apparently have contempt for the very women who allow you this.
I absolutely do.
If there weren't these women who are money grubbing, you would be dating your physical equals. I don't think that you've necessarily...
Dear, the point I'm making to you, it's one thing to date people and have sex with them. It's another thing to marry them. The women who want to date professionals want to marry professionals. And may I tell you that I have dated many, many women who are impressed by my money, power, and fame. But the key here is they didn't get it. They didn't get the money. They were just around it, near it. They could smell it.
Gotcha.
They could look at it, but they didn't get it.
Okay, makes sense.
And I have very little respect for them.
Well, I don't have much respect for them either. I almost serially date men who are not professional. So, I just wanted clarification on that point, because you've touched on this topic many times, and it's always confounded me. So,
yes, but now you know. Now you understand.
Now I understand. Thank you.
I'm here to help, Shannon. It's toll free. It's 1-800-5800-TOM. More of your telephone calls. All right, coming up,
The Tom Leykis Show. This is The Tom Leykis Show.
From Los Angeles at 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of our program. We appreciate it. I'm talking to women who only want to date professionals. Only want to date professionals. What the hell do you bring to the table, eh? Kim on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi.
I just want to say that I've been listening to you for a couple months now, and your advice about men is awesome. I've learned a lot. But first of all, it sounds to me like you're kind of contradicting yourself. A couple months ago, you talked about women who, if they wanted a proper relationship, should stick to the guys that are into construction, plumbing, cement. You said the women that wanted the professionals, they were only good for the booty call, and the guys that they dated that were professionals would keep moving up the ladder and drop these women. Now, are these women ugly or are they beautiful? I'm a beautiful woman, and I date both professionals and construction workers or plumbers, but my question to you is, earlier there was a woman on the phone who said that she was a professional and her husband was, and you sounded a bit hesitant or disappointed that she wasn't home looking after her child. My question to you, Tom, is do you think a woman's place is in the home, no matter if she's dating a professional or not a professional?
I happen to think that if you're going to have children, that children need a parent at home. I also happen to believe that the women who are the most successful in business, and anyone who's had a female boss will tell you this, are bitches. And as a man, I don't like being around women like that.
You don't like being around women who are bitches?
No, I don't.
So So women that are bitches are usually higher up on the ladder in the professional.
Right.
Okay.
And so, therefore, those women are only good for booty call. And the reason they're only good for booty call is because when you come over to their place at midnight, you're only coming over for one thing. And that's it. You don't have to hang out with them, eat brunch with them, talk to them. You don't have to know their business.
To date or marry a woman that's not a professional. Don't you want somebody that's making high figures for yourself, being the person you are?
No.
Don't most professional men like the women that make money and are higher up?
No.
So they like the average woman that makes an average income?
No, we don't like average women. We like hot women who make average income.
Okay, so then I would call myself a hot woman that's an average income. Okay, so I would have no problem going after the professional or the plumber. But the professional will climb the ladder and leave me behind. Well,
the problem for you, I see on the screen here, you're 42 years old. The problem for you is that your expiration date passed some time ago. So there's not a lot of professionals out there who are going to marry you. Because they can afford younger, hotter, fresher.
Okay.
I mean, that's reality. I'm just being brutally honest with you.
I know, but I'm not expired, believe me.
Well, I know that you believe that, and I know that's how you get yourself out of bed every morning, is believing that. But I'm telling you as a man, look, I'm a 47-year-old man with a 7-figure income. If I see a 42-year-old woman like yourself, I say to myself, nice, but guess what? I can get a 28-year-old woman. I can get a 25-year-old. I can get a 21-year-old.
You're so good at doing this. I come on with a call that sounds good, but you always jab. Why do you do that to women?
Dear, I do the show the way I do it. It's always been this way.
Okay, fair enough, Tom.
It's called, the name of this show?
Yeah, the Tom Leykis Show.
The Tom Leykis Show. And whose personality does this show reflect?
Men. Yours.
Mine, and I represent men here.
I know that, and I highly respect
So that's why I do it. Now, you see, you're getting upset at me for telling you the truth. The truth.
The truth?
Yeah, the truth.
Well, for 42, I'm pretty hot, and I've got an average income, and whether he's high class or average class, that's okay.
But, dear, I'm trying to tell you, if you met a man who made 7 figures, he might have sex with you.
I'd be intimidated by a man who had 7 figures.
All right, well, there you go.
Yeah.
Point is that if you weren't intimidated, he wouldn't marry you.
Well, so be it.
All right, but you agree that that's probably true.
I don't know.
Well, if a man can afford a 21-year-old, why would he want a 42-year-old?
Because a 42-year-old has the life experience, the knowledge. That's fine.
We don't want you to have knowledge.
Well, I know what you want, and that's there, too.
Yeah, but dear, again, what we want, you may find this surprising. What we want is for you to shut up. When we come home, we don't want to hear you blabbing. If you have nothing to say, that's great. We like that.
I know you do.
And that's why, if we can get a 21-year-old, we do. Because at your age, you're blah, 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 blah. And the 19-year-old has nothing to say.
No, they don't.
Has nothing to prove in the knowledge department. Hasn't been reading up on the presidential campaign. Doesn't care about the stock market. Really, all she cares about is how Friends is going to end.
So you want a woman...
Will Ross and Rachel get married on the last episode of Friends? That's what they care about.
So you want a woman that will provide you with the ultimate sex but not have the brains behind it.
Especially not have any brains behind it. Absolutely. See, here's the thing. If I want to talk about politics, I'll go to a cocktail party. I don't want to be at home competing with the person I'm in love with.
There you go.
And that is how men of means feel. And that's why you see so many of us with young women.
Absolutely, but you see women my age with young men also.
But it's not for the same reasons. In fact, the young men who are with older women are there because the younger women won't talk to them.
Because the younger women won't talk to them?
Yeah. You could easily get a 21-year-old man just by being available. But he wouldn't marry you. He'd have sex with you.
Absolutely.
And then ultimately, once his career gets going and he's 26, 27, 28...
he's going to go after the younger chicks.
He'll go after the younger chicks. And he will have had you, Mrs. Robinson, to fill the gap until he can get a woman in his own age group or younger. That's a lot different from older men and younger women.
So you say I'm at an age where I'm going to shrivel up and die then, and only have guys for sex. Is that what you're saying?
Well, dear, what's your husband's name?
I'm not married.
That's my point, darling.
I'm divorced.
I understand. But you see, the odds of you getting a man even your own age are dwindling. You might get one for a date or to have sex with you, but they're not going to marry you.
You think not?
I think not.
Okay. So I'll call you back in a year.
All right, call me from your wedding, darling.
I will.
All right, good luck.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800. The Tom Leykis Show.
The Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Amber on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello. Amber?
Yeah.
You busy over there?
Okay, I've just started listening to your show. I've never listened to it before, but I think everything you're saying is absolutely true. Younger women will find professional men, and that's all they're going to date, but they're plastic. They're not real. They're not marriage material. Nobody's going to marry them. When that lady that you just had on the phone, she's saying that she's still young and hot at 42. She's not going to find anybody to marry her unless they're like 60 years old. That's just how it works.
Right, because they want younger women, and
exactly.
The 18-year-olds think that's creepy.
And that's how it works. That's how it goes. Older men like younger women.
That's right.
Even if they're older women, they're just going to be an older man.
That's right.
So.
That's exactly right. So the trick is to try to marry somebody and make them not sign a prenup.
Exactly.
And then put a lot of banana peels around the house.
Yeah. And just hope for the best, huh?
Right.
So, yeah, I completely agree with you.
Well, thank you.
Women who date professionals, strictly professionals, they only want one thing. And the men, they know they're not real, so they're not going to stick around for long.
Amber, thank you. It's Kim on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
I just wanted to say that, you're completely right about men, and you're the first man to admit it, because every man totally lies and says, oh, I'm not in it for one thing. I really like you.
Well, we have to say that, because if we don't, you won't have sex with us.
But that doesn't matter. I'm smarter than that, and I know that you're just saying that. I just wish that more men could be upfront and honest about it like you are.
Yeah, understand the position I'm in. Because I'm on the radio, every woman I ever meet knows that that's how I feel.
Well, then that's
and
good.
So I couldn't pull a fast one because they all know how I feel.
Yeah.
I want to get a look at you naked. That's what I want.
I just wish, because I've tried dating older guys and younger guys, younger than me, and they all just say the same thing. And I tell them, look, I know you just want one thing. Come clean about it. And just
I understand also, though, just to be specific and clear, we only want one thing until we get it.
Yeah.
Then there comes a time when we decide whether we want more than one thing. But until we get that one thing, we don't know what we want. I've been with women who've told me that unless I'm in love with them, they won't have sex with me. And I'm like, I won't fall in love with you until I've test-driven the car.
Exactly. You got to test drive the car before you buy it.
That's right. So you can't expect it to be backwards. There was one woman I was dating who tested the 3-date limit. And finally I said, look, what is it? A matter that you don't know enough about me? Is that why we haven't had sex? And she said, well, maybe that's part of it. I said, great. If you have any questions, write them down. Send me your questions, and I'll answer all your questions. And, if you want to come back to me, I don't care if it takes 6 months, a year, whatever. But I'm not going to keep taking you out to dinner and drinks all the time.
Right.
While I'm waiting for you to decide if you know me that well. We can talk on the phone. You can write to me. You can ask me any question. I'll hold a press conference. You can ask me all the questions you want.
Exactly.
But if you think you're going to be sucking all that free lobster out of me for the next year until you decide how you feel, or until I tell you I love you, you're wasting your time.
Right. Well, I just wish more people would be honest, like you've been honest. And all the women that call in and say, oh, you know, guys aren't like that, women aren't like that, you know, they know that what you're saying is true.
That's
they have to know. And if they don't, they're just complete idiots.
You are right about that.
Tom Leykis. Woof. Tom Leykis. Woof. 800-5800. Tom.
This is insanity, and you people are insane.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Tom Leykis Show. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Let's say hello here to Michelle on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hi, Tom.
Hi.
How are you?
Do you care, darling?
I do care today.
Doing great.
Great. I want to tell you something that you are 100% right about this woman dating with the professional men and men wanting hotter and younger chicks.
Yes.
It's just, I believe it works out perfect because I don't want to go out with a cursed garbage man. I'm not trying to insult anybody. I'm not trying to put anybody down. But it's just like I have nothing in common to talk about. Or a 28-year-old man wouldn't want to go out with me because I'm not 22-year-old LA 10, if you know what I'm saying.
I know exactly what you're saying.
So, I mean, just be realistic and don't go crazy on each other. And that's what I wanted to tell.
I see. So do you date guys with money?
Not a lot, but yeah.
Because if you're not an LA 10 and you're 35 years old, you probably can't get too many of those guys.
You may be right, but I'm not LA 10, but I'm about LA 8, 9, I would say.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you look like?
I look like... Well, I was told I look like Kirstie Alley / Brooke Shields 10 years ago.
Oh, I hope it's 10 years ago because I saw Kirstie Alley on the cover of the Globe.
No.
Did you see that picture?
Yeah,
what did it say? She's 345 pounds. That picture was unbelievable.
She looks like a tent. the skirt that she's wearing. I mean, she's a pretty woman.
Yeah, she's a lead singer in a new band, Fed Zeppelin.
No. I look like her when she was 10 years or 15 years younger. So, hopefully I won't turn out to be like that. But
do you have knockers like that? She had big knockers.
Well, yeah, I do.
Now it's all big. Oh, you do?
Yeah.
What's your cup size?
C.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
36C.
36C. All right.
I am 5'7", 130.
Mm-hmm. Little junk in the trunk?
I'm sorry?
Do you have a little junk in the trunk?
No.
No?
Well, I'm from a Mediterranean country, so we don't have those things.
You don't have junk in the trunk in the Mediterranean countries?
No.
Come on.
No, we don't.
I've seen some belly dancers with bellies, I'll tell you what.
Well, those are the bellies. This is not the trunk.
Just checking there, sweetheart. 1-800-5800-TOM. Monica on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hi, Tom. How are you?
Do you care, Monica? You what? Did her cell phone crap out right when she got on the air? Probably. Elizabeth on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello.
How are you, Tom?
Do you care?
I do all day.
I'm doing great.
I just called to say that I truly do agree with you, Tom, about, professional women we're bitches. I consider myself professional, and all the men that I date, I pretty much treat them like crap because I know I can. I make more money than them, and they'll put up with it. They keep calling me.
By the same token, the kind of guys you are with are lazy, probably weed smokers.
Actually, no. Well, maybe a few of them, but, I do make more than them, and they will put up with it. They keep calling me, and,
But they're losers.
Most of them, yes.
Yeah, well, that's what women like you attract, losers.
Yes.
Because what successful man wants to come home to a dark house?
Yes, but I'm not looking for a professional.
The guy who wants to go home and smoke weed and have somebody else pay for it, that's who.
I'm not looking for a professional, though, Tom, because I'm very independent. I make pretty good,
Very independent. Oh, my God, there's the buzzword I just absolutely can't stand to hear.
The Tom Leykis Show.